append our signatures to the COMESA protocol, where all other East African countries have on issues like sugar. Why? Common tax regime like on vehicles. Why? The cost of sugar in the other neighboring countries is low.
Yes.
30 million Ugandans buying expensive sugar,
yes,
when sugar is cheap in neighboring countries. Whom are we protecting? That is what Ugandans are asking.
No.
Soap, fuel prices are high, and we talked about that. I always said, whatever we do without lowering the cost of fuel in this country, nothing is going to work out. We are only accumulating. It's a cumulative effect that is coming out, and in my opinion, it's soon blowing.
Right.
When our traders talk about paying rent in dollars,
yes,
this is an economy you just even laugh. How can you go to South Africa and pay in dollars rent?
Well, when you have runaway inflation, it's only one way to
like he told you, it's not very easy to even acquire it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, you have to pay it in rands. They are being tormented. And look at the owners of these buildings. They are just a handful, and they can determine anything. Where is Parliament to come in and save their people? I talked about the minimum wage. The dollar is surging, goods are going high, and you look at the common Ugandan. The teacher is still earning 200,000. The serviceman in police and in uniform, 200,000. The doctor who sits up in the night to look after you when you're sick, still earning 600,000.
Yes.
Is this really fair with this inflation? And people are not coping up. I think this has started with the traders, but it's going to continue in other sectors. Why? We must come up with a general policy. And I always talked about capital outflow. I would like to thank the Honorable Muhamad. This is the country where you see generous capital outflow. Multi-million phone companies that don't even own a building. If we do not re-inject the dollar within the economy, then definitely it won't be there. Because do you know what we are exporting here? Do you know what we are exporting?
Yes, we sort coffee, tea.
No. We even export airwaves.
Well,
but only that we are not able to retain that money in the economy.
Go on.
You go on roaming, you call from here. We own the airwaves. We own the backbone of the internet. It was paid for by this government.
Yes.
And we own the channels.
The telecommunication channels.
And what happens? The Ugandans still pay for all that, and all their money is taken out of this country. Over billions and billions of dollars. When you compare
millions of dollars, not billions.
I mean millions. When cumulatively, it's billions of dollars.
You have to take to 20 years to talk like that.
Let's
talk about millions.
No. That drift from this economy, $2 to $3 billion drift from this economy every year.
No, that's not possible.
Capital outflow.
You need to check the figure.
We have to come here.
You need to check the figure.
I'm ready for that debate, and I'll put it here cross-cut,
right,
and I'll tell it to you. But anyway, in the nutshell, I would like to say that the traders have all reasons to do what they did. And I would like to call upon them to continue heaping pressure onto us so that we understand. It seems now people have realized that this government, whenever you continue talking to it slowly, they do not react. Since the walk to work, we've been talking about solutions and solutions. Where are they? People do not want cosmetic solutions. The price of fuel then was 3,300 on the pump. Since then, it has only gone up to 3,600. What do you want people to do?
All right.
So I commend them that it was non-violent, first of all. That is wonderful. But you did what you had to do within your constitutional mandate.
This is Spectrum. Obviously, the situation is looking dire. The Trade and Industry Minister appears to be putting out a fire with her bare hands. The government proposed a change in the taxation regime during the budget. 25 shillings removed on sugar. It was really cosmetic. And the situation is a bit serious. Today, the central bank announced a new CBR, commercial bank, central bank rate, increasing interbank lending rates to 13% from 11%. When they were 11%, commercial banks were lending at around 19 to 20%. Now they've been been raised 13%. We wait to see at what rate they'll raise their lending rate. So we're going for a break. When we come back, we'll look at these issues in deeper detail.
Thank you for coming to the executive suite, madam. My name is Richard, your executive banker, and I'm here to handle all your banking needs.
Oh, really? Thank you. I noticed you don't have any queues here.
No, Mrs. Asio, we do not.
Oh, wow. You even know my name?
But of course, madam. Today we are offering you a current account with a Gold Visa debit card, home loans with attractive rates, Gold Visa credit cards, and unsecured personal loan.
All that for me?
Yes. In addition, we can offer you internet banking so that you can access our services from anywhere, even your home.
Oh, this is too much. What else will you give me now? Chai?
Experience executive banking at Stanbic Bank.
Excuse me, madam. Your cup of chai?
Ask about executive banking at your nearest branch or visit our executive banking suite in Nakasero Towers, Forest Mall at Lugogo, Garden City, Ntinda, Makerere, Mbarara, Mukono, Mbale, Lira and Gulu.
Stanbic Bank. Moving forward.
Hi, I've got just 30 seconds to list all the destinations in Africa served by Kenya Airways out of Nairobi.
Abidjan, Accra, Addis Ababa, Bujumbura, Cairo, Cotonou, Dakar, Dar es Salaam.
He's never going to make it. Kenya Airways covers 70% of all destinations in Africa alone and several more worldwide. If you're starting from Uganda, there is no rush because Kenya Airways operates the most frequencies every day from Entebbe to the hub in Nairobi. So you can pick up any of these connections at your own convenience.
Johannesburg, Kigali, Kinshasa, Lagos, Lilongwe, Lusaka, Lubumbashi.
Kenya Airways, the pride of Africa.
Sebo, time's up. Malabo, Mauritius, Mombasa.
Tell me, Tata Domas, where are you coming from this time of the night?
Hey, Mama Domazo, relax. It's football. Football is not doing to us these days. Man, you has totally humiliated Manchester United. You know, 5 goals to 0. Fabregas, Drogba, Messi. Then who did us goal? Salvador.
Daddy, your Manchester is funny.
Unlike humans, structures don't lie. For their construction to be finished on time, you need cement that gains strength fast. This is what Hima Cement does best, and why most structures in Uganda are built with Hima Cement. So if you're thinking about building, think Hima Cement. Hima Cement, part of you from the start.
From the start.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90 is brought to you by Stanbic Bank.
Welcome back. Welcome back. On Spectrum tonight, traders in Kampala on a sit-down strike. What are their concerns and what is the response by the government? Our guests tonight, Honorable Stephen Mukitale Birawa, Chairman of the Committee of the National Economy, Mr. Honorable Muhamad Nsereko, Kampala Central Member of Parliament, also a member of the Committee on the National Economy. We are also right now, I'm glad to announce, we are joined by Mr. Sekito, spokesman for the Kampala City Traders Association. We couldn't reach him earlier because he was in a meeting and he had switched off his phone. Mr. Sekito, you're welcome to Spectrum. Hello? Okay. We'll continue to try to... We have him now. Mr. Sekito, good evening and you're welcome to Spectrum. Okay, as soon as we resolve that issue, we can hardly hear him. As soon as it's resolved, he'll rejoin us. Honorable, okay, Mr. Sekito, we have you. Can you tell us what's been happening with you today? He's gone. Honorable Birawa, give us a deeper feeling of this economy today.
Yeah, first of all, for the last 3 years, we've been making reports in Parliament, cautioning Bank of Uganda for the way their involvement in TPs has kept the
treasury bills.
The treasury bill cost has kept the bank interest rates high. So when they make an intervention today of 13%, naturally every commercial bank is going to adjust upward.
That's true.
Because a bank can only lend a TB rate plus cost of doing that transaction and plus risk, because the TBs are risk-free. It's a government instrument.
That's true.
But also, the point I have been emphasizing of over-liberalizing our foreign exchange. The speculators next door are just watching for any intervention. They can come and buy off all our dollars in just a minute. So that alone is very, 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 very.
Okay, maybe we'll follow up. Let me ask you to keep it there. Let's get Mr. Sekito to talk to us about. Mr. Sekito, what's been happening with you today? And the trader.
What has been happening today is the long-awaited peaceful sit-down strike by the Kampala traders and the other adjoining areas where KACITA has a voice. The issues that were of concern have been articulated in a mini dossier, a combination of documents that we have kept submitting to government for over the years, including but not limited to the petty traders that are involved in the trading business contrary to the Trade Licensing Act and the Investment Code and other relevant laws. So ending up making the capital flight after gathering a lot of money and then take it to rehabilitate to renovate their or to develop their own countries. The issue of the unstable dollar, not for external factors, but for factors that can be ably controlled through the involvement of the Bank of Uganda or the Ministry of Finance and the Uganda Revenue Authority, for instance, by having a threshold or rather a minimum amount payable for at least 3 months of rate alone. Because you recall that since the 1st of January 2005, when we started the operationalization of the East African Customs Union, we no longer value goods in Uganda for tax purposes. We convert it to the dollar. So we are asking government for some time now that can we have a fixed rate just for tax purposes as we gamble to control the market of the dollar outside. We also have had the issues of the trade licensing that has been arbitrarily applied for over the years.
Okay, the line. Okay, go on.
To the Kampala City Council only, and this was in disregard of what was happening nationally. People coming to ask for licenses which are out of the law, and at the end of the day they are keeping on increasing without reference to the relevant provisions of the law. We were going to sue, we said no. Can we forgive the city authorities because we do not have the money, but rectify the law starting from here onwards? We have also had other issues over the years. For instance, since we joined the East African community, we have had products on the sensitive list, and when anybody has attached to them. For example, we have had a problem with the importation of sugar. We had, okay, can we have some protectionism for the free companies and the others that might come in the industry of sugar? But why doesn't the government allow the business at least to enjoy the COMESA market for certain products like sugar, while Kenya, also a member of the COMESA, is enjoying? I remember in December 2008, we unanimously as a country resolved that Uganda joins the free trade area of the COMESA without intervention. Today, we are being informed the Minister of Finance is adamant, and as a consequence, we buy sugar from Mauritius, for example, at 100% import duty, and a Kenyan would buy from the same market at 6%. At the end of the day, when there is shortage of production like what it is today, they are closed for innovation. School doesn't have power and enough sugar cane. We only depend on KACITA. That's why you see the kilo of sugar shooting between 3,500 to even 4,000 in some areas. So we say, can we have some of these issues addressed? To no avail. So we said now, enough is enough. Can we sit down at the beginning point?
Okay.
For government to know we are agreed. That's what has been happening today. With the climax, this is just part of the list that we have given to government, and the number of issues are between 15 to to 16, but I managed to highlight a few of them.
Yes.
And we know government cannot tackle them at a go. We thought government would list them and see what can be what can be having a short-term intervention,
right,
a medium-term intervention, and a long-term. We are very, very considerate.
Okay.
But in a circumstance where we don't even have a hope that this and that will happen, and in such a time frame, we had to lose the patience.
So will you be on strike tomorrow as well, or are you going back?
Definitely on this demonstration or strike, we did not have an ultimatum that if you don't do this, we shall do this. We only said, can we sit down for just 2 days? This matter, I think tomorrow is the last day of the peaceful demonstration. We are only calling upon business people who were skeptical, who thought it would not happen, to just join tomorrow, remain home, be peaceful for those that have gone to Kampala, and then we fulfill our target. If things don't work out,
all right,
then what we can do next can be discussed at that level.
All right, Mr. Sekito, thank you very much for joining us.
Most welcome.
Let's hear from you before we hear from the listeners. Honorable Birahwa, could this have been avoided, and what can be done, in very, very briefly?
Yeah, the impact of this sit-down strike is enormous. It has far-reaching implications. In my constituency alone, I think about 20 lorries have not loaded today and tomorrow, and work is paralyzed. It's not a Kampala thing. It's the whole country, because Ulisa is the border to DRC, you know. So I'm trying to show you what it means. But also we should be very careful as a country which has been attracting some good direct foreign investment. What does this volatility of our shilling, the devaluation of our shilling, it has a far-reaching implication even at that level. So really, development is not for status quo-oriented minds.